Last night I had the strangest dream, or closer, I ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room filled with women and men, and the paper they were signing said they'd never fight again.
We stand here today in solidarity with all the Palestinians who are going through so much hardship and pain, and to extend our condolences to all the mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers who have lost their loved ones in these murderous, immoral, unjust, racist acts that Israel has committed and unleashed against them. Today, like so many other times in the past, we condemn the state of Israel for the crimes they are committing against the defenseless Palestinians in Gaza. We also condemn any other government who either support the state of Israel, such as the United States and Canada. Some years ago, the terrorist state of Israel began their latest barbarous, unlawful assaults against the defenseless people of Palestine once again, 10 days ago, I should say. Since then, over 1,800 targets have been bombed with airstrikes throughout Gaza. This has left over 300 Palestinians killed, injured another 2,000, and left behind all kinds of suffering and destruction. Well over 70% of the people butchered have been civilians, with many being children and babies. One has to ask the Israeli government, Harper, Obama, and whoever else is supporting this immoral, barbarous offensive, what these innocent children and babies have to do with anything. With this making of a hell in Gaza for all Palestinians trapped in it. The Israeli state seems to be so drunk with hate, violence, and racism that it has stated that their offensive has no end in sight. Inciting indiscriminate hate against the Palestinians, the Israeli racist state keeps committing crimes and atrocities resulting in genocide. Once again, we are joining ourselves with hundreds of thousands of others across the globe in calling for peace, justice, and equality, and that human rights respected for one person or one race be respected for all people of every race, everywhere, including Palestinians. Without the support of the United States government to Israel, the racist regime would not exist, and without the support of a number of right-wing governments in Europe and the Harper government in Canada, the U.S. would have a hard time justifying the unconditional support to that racist regime. The biggest aid package the U.S. gives out is to Israel. In the past 50 years, Israel has received well over $100 billion from U.S. taxpayers. All of it is for military purposes, with a small amount going towards Jewish immigration expansion into Palestinian lands. It has been repeated over and over again that Israel is dictating to the U.S. on what should be done in the Middle East. I say that's false. The U.S. is in unison with the action that Israel has been taking all along. If the U.S. would stop funding the racist state of Israel, it would collapse in no time. Israel has broken more UN resolutions than any other state on the planet. The overwhelming majority of countries around the globe through the UN and the international organization and channels, have been calling on Israel for over 50 years to end its occupation of Palestine, to stop stealing land from them, to stop calling on Jews from faraway places to relocate on Palestinian lands, to abide by international laws. It's not as if there's only a few people calling for Israel to stop their crimes. We demand that occupation of all Palestine and the murderous bombings, killings, and destructions unleashed by the racist state of Israel against Gaza stop at once. Yes. We also demand that the Harper government, the Liberals, the NDPers call for the same demand and stop supporting such a terrorist state. We need to call them, email them, write letters to them, walk into their offices, and shame them for their support to such a racist terrorist state as Israel is. Palestinians have been subjected to one suffering after another. Most of their homes and land being stolen, thousands and thousands of them locked in Israeli jails with no charges and being tortured and abused. Many being walled in their own homes or fenced in refugee camps, and the whole of Gaza being choked with a blockade that has turned into an open prison. These are unlawful terroristic crimes. These unlawful deadly action by Israel against a whole people that have no defense except a few homemade explosives and stones to throw at the invader and occupier can only result in more death and destruction.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.